Hey everybody, I'm Luke Wolfert from Endless Pressure.
Dylan Harmsel over at Long Range Archery. So we've been having a lot of guys recently, guys and gals looking into traditional archery, whether they've been coming from the compound world in the past, looking for something new, otherwise just started to get looking to get into it, in the beginning. So the plan today is we're going to go over a couple different. We're going to do like a three-part series, beginning with picking a bow that fits for you as far as size, price range, things like that. Second one, we're going to do like an arrow selection, which is very important. And then the third one, we're going to do a couple different shooting techniques. So I think that's the plan, right?
That's the plan.
All right, that's the plan. So we got a whole... All right, we got a whole wall of bows here. Price range is the first one. A lot of people are just starting, looking to get into it. You don't necessarily need a, a $500 bow to get into it. You can get away with, a little bit cheaper bow. They all kind of serve the same purpose, and they can, get you on the right foot, get you shooting, and there's something you could potentially hunt with too if you're looking to get into that. So starting off, we have a lot of our, takedown recurves. So you have two different types of traditional bows. You have recurve bows, which I'd say are most common. You also have longbows.
What's the difference?
So the difference is, I'll grab a longbow a second here. All right, so this is what a recurve looks like. This one here is a one piece, meaning it's just one straight piece of wood, but it has the curved limbs here. So that's a recurve. Your longbow is, hold that a second. So a longbow, if I was to take the string off it, it's one straight piece of wood, and it does not have the curves in them. So a longbow is usually a little bit longer. It also is not going to be quite as fast, whereas the recurve has the curves in them, which can usually give you a little bit more speed. And generally speaking, they're going to be a little bit shorter, overall length of the bow. I'd say in comparison, recurves are more common. It's kind of what's known, but longbows are another great option depending on what you're looking to do. Most guys starting out will be looking into recurves, I would say. So as far as price ranges go, like I started out with a relatively entry bow. That $150 bow would be something along the lines of this. This is actually called a takedown. So you have three pieces. You have the center piece, which is called the riser, and then you have your two limbs. So if I were to take the string off, I could actually take these bolts out and take this bow right down. The cool thing about that is if you wanted to start with, say, lighter poundage limbs, you can do that. And then after you get comfortable with it, you can buy just limbs and then make it, higher poundage if you wanted to hunt or anything like that. So something like this, you can start in that $150 price range. So nothing, too crazy expensive, and it's a very functional, very nice shooting bow.
Now who makes that?
So there's several different ones. This one is made by Bear. It's called the Wolverine. Samick makes some. October Mountain makes some. To be honest with you, they're all very similar bows. A couple different people make a very similar thing. And most of these are all going to be wooden bows. You will see some recurves that have either aluminum or magnesium for the riser, but most of them, traditionally speaking, are going to be wood bows. All right. And then stepping up from there, a lot of the ones on the top rack here are going to be kind of like mine here. They're going to be a one-piece design. What a one piece does is usually, a lot of it is the fit and finish too. So they're going to be, cut out a little bit smoother, maybe look a little bit nicer, have nicer finishes on them. But a one piece is also going to have just a little bit less vibration on the shot. But then, like I said, you're kind of stuck to a certain poundage. Like mine is a 45 pound, and that can't be changed. But kind of on that topic, so on each bow, you're going to see two main things that it says on the side. So like Luke, you see there, 58-inch, 45 with the pound mark, right? Yep. So 58-inch is the overall length of the bow. So if I were to take the string off of it, the overall length from bottom of the limb to top limb is 58 inches.
Okay.
So I'd say standard on a recurve is right around that 60-inch mark. And that's that kind of, my recommendation is, so like my draw length on a traditional bow, like on a recurve or on a compound, my draw length is about a 30-inch draw length. And most guys will draw a little bit shorter on a recurve, like mine's about 29 inches.
Okay.
So 29-inch draw length, double that. This is a 58-inch bow is what mine is. It's a little bit shorter. I usually recommend going at least twice the length of the bow of what your draw length is. So let's say you have a 30-inch draw length, I wouldn't want to shoot anything shorter than a 60-inch bow.
So in your example, you normally shoot like a 30.
Yep.
But you're shooting a 29 out of this and 50.
I draw to about 29 inches.
That's exactly double would be 58.
Yep, and it's on the shorter side. Like if I were to do anything else, a different bow, I'd probably go just a little bit longer. That's what I have, and it works just fine. So that's the first measurement, is the overall length of the bow. So usually a taller person is going on a taller bow to be proportionate, right? And the other measurement on there is 45 pounds. So that one is 45 pounds, and they measure that at 28-inch draw length. So at 28 inches, that bow is holding 45 pounds, right? But I'm drawing it to 29, so it's going to be a little bit more than that. So like I'm holding about 48 pounds. So that's something you got to keep in mind. If you're, say, a little bit shorter and you're drawing to 26 inches, even though the bow says it's 45 pounds, you might only be drawing it to, say, 38. So that gives you, the standard is, whatever it's marked at is measured at 28-inch draw length. So that's something a lot of people don't realize.
Now compound-wise, you're drawing 70-pound bows, no problem.
Yep, that's another thing too.
Why the poundage so much less with a traditional?
Because with a compound, let's say most of the bows have an 80 or 85% let off. So with a 70-pound bow, you and I can shoot a 70-pound bow. It's not necessarily a struggle, right? So you draw it back, and then at full draw, you're only holding
14, 15 pounds.
Yeah, roughly 10 pounds, whatever. A little bit more than that. Roughly 10 pounds at full draw. So very easy to hold. Whereas with a traditional bow, you're holding that 45 pounds at full draw. You're going to be a lot more fatigued, and usually starting out, like even like you haven't shot traditional much or any, right?
No, I've never shot it ever.
Yeah, so you shoot a 70-pound compound.
Yep.
I would not recommend going anything over a 45-pound recurve, just because it's a different muscle. And the thing that I see a lot is if guys, I want a hunting bow, I want a 50 or 55 pounder. What they'll end up doing is they won't get all the way to full draw. They realize, okay, this is getting too heavy, and they'll get maybe, they should be drawing to 29. All of a sudden they start drawing 28 and a half. All right, good enough, shoot. And then before I know it, they're drawing, they're short drawing or they're snap shooting just because they can't hold that weight.
Okay, and that probably affects their form, which affects
Absolutely.
their grouping for sure.
Yep, and then you start off with bad habits, and it only gets worse from there, right? So I usually recommend, starting you with like a 40-pound bow. That way your form and technique is good, and as long as you can work on that form and technique, then say down the road if you wanted heavier, you could. You don't even need to. You can hunt with a 40 or 45 pounder. I hunt with that 45 pounder, and as long as you have, like we're gonna go over the arrow setup, as long as you have the right arrows and broadheads and things like that, it's plenty.
Not an issue.
Yep. So yeah, don't be, just because you shoot a, say, a 60 or 70-pound compound, doesn't mean you're gonna shoot a 60-pound recurve. Start in that 40, 45 pounds maybe, even 35, just to get started out. So that's something that I would recommend. And we do have all these bows here, so if you guys are looking into it, stop in. I'll have you shoot a couple. I'll help you get sized and things like that, and we can shoot them to make sure it's not, too difficult for you to draw, things like that.
Perfect. Let's pick one out, man.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple bows that I'm gonna have for Luke to shoot. I got a couple of different bear model bows here. They make a really nice bow in that mid-price range, not crazy expensive, but really, really nice shooting bows. That's what mine actually is too. It's an older model. They still make them the same way now. So we have a lot of bears. The one I'm holding here is a Super Kodiak. That's one of my personally favorite bows. This is a 60-inch model. I'll have him shoot this one at a 45 pounds, kind of get a feel for it. And then the one in my right hand here is the Bear Grizzly. Is one of the most popular bows that Bear's ever had. If you know anything about Bear, the Grizzly is kind of like the standard. That's actually what I'm shooting there too. So this is a 40-pounder, so I'm gonna have him shoot these two, and then yeah, I'll see what he likes, and then we'll try to find some arrows that work for him. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Let's do it up.
As always, guys, thanks for liking the video. Always like, subscribe in the bottom. If you guys shoot traditional archery, you guys have any type of bows that you like or arrows that you like or setups, be sure to throw them in the comments below. This is entirely new to me. Never tried this before. Dylan down at Long Range just giving us the hookup. So thanks for watching.